Colorado, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Oregon, okay, all these states, and quite a few more, have now experimented with alternative plans. Okay? Decriminalization has been the easiest one to defend, in part because they say, hey, you know, you got to listen on the house. It's still against federal law. We're going to let the feds handle that. If they want to bust you, if we catch you, here's what we do. Take your pot, give you a ticket. The Netherlands. Okay. What's really going on in the Netherlands? Right? Most Americans are like, pot is legal there. All right, but is it? No. Okay. And pot is not legal by international treaty. Okay. All the nations of the world signed on to this treaty saying all certain number of drugs are going to be illegal. Right? Including the Netherlands. So what is the deal at the coffee shops? How does it work?
They kind of turn a blind eye.
What's that?
They like turn a blind eye.
Okay, so police are not enforcing. In fact, they will point you, police in Amsterdam will point you to where you can go buy pot. Right. But there's a limit. You can only get 5 grams in any shop. Okay. And you must be of age. You have to be 18 or over. Right. Go ahead. Can you buy at the coffee shop and
smoke in your apartment?
Smoke in your apartment, yes. Right? You can buy space cakes and take them home and eat them. Right? There's nothing to keep you from going to 6 different shops and getting 5 grams of each. Right? And enforcement has been crazy. Right. I didn't have it on here, but what's the deal in Portugal? Whatever, man. Right. Personal amounts of any drug possession has been decriminalized. Right? And everybody, it was 2001, everybody raised their hands like, oh, shit's really going to hit the fan. But what's happened? Right? Use has gone down. Teen use is down. Yep.
Didn't Portugal have a huge heroin problem that's largely why they enacted these laws?
Yeah, I mean, Portugal was heroin tourism central, right? It was really, really crazy. And more importantly, heroin deaths are down. Right? What's that?
Did they still have government dispensaries for heroin? They did.
So it's kind of hairy. In Canada, they've been experimenting with this too. There are shooting places. There are places where you can go, you can buy heroin, but you have to shoot it right there in this horrible, place with lights like this and mirrors, and you feel like an asshole. Who wants to shoot heroin in front of a mirror? Right? But I think that's kind of the design. It's like, hey, look at yourself, dude. This is a really bad habit. Right? And yeah, you can imagine the legal things are like, that would be great if you could take it home, because usually, why do heroin addicts still need heroin? And even if you've kicked, if you've got cleaned up, if you've done all these great things for your life, falling asleep is really hard without it. So the clincher here, though, is by decriminalizing small amounts, the Portugal experience has been decreased rates of use and a lot of improvement in other health indicators, particularly heroin overdose and things like that. The US, Singapore, and Malaysia had some of the worst laws at all. And I mean, in Malaysia, if you get caught with pot, you can go to jail forever. It's just really spooky. And in Singapore, they can actually spank you with a giant, cane. Welcome to the 21st century. All right. What is the deal in Jamaica? And I think, remember from the movie, Rod Campia talking about it. What is the deal in Jamaica? Pot is illegal. Okay. And it doesn't matter how many Bob Marley t-shirts you have, or what posh music you have playing, cannabis is still illegal there. Paul Chang, this Asian dude who lives in Jamaica, who's head of the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws in Jamaica, emails me every once in a while. It's bad, right? And they're trying to get the government to change laws on that. Right? So you got to feel for the different laws in different areas. Right? Do I have any harm reduction recommendations for these legal negative consequences? Well, yes. Buying less than an ounce at a time. Right? Given what I know about most undergraduate budgets, this is not a hard one to follow. Right? If you're paying 8 and 8, I'm really sorry. That just sounds awful. Right? But in order to get the price break at 2 ounces, believe me, it's not worth it. Right? The risk is just too high. Why? That's the limit for the decriminalization to no longer apply. Okay. Buying in a safe place. When I was at Columbia, people would literally go to the street and get little dime bags, back when there was a dime bag, right? Get little bags from people off the street. Right? Never mind law enforcement, like this just sounds like a terrible idea for being known somewhere, to have money, putting yourself at risk for all kinds of negative consequences, rough, traumatizing, muggings and stuff. Right? I need to emphasize this because this is what happens on college campuses anywhere. Having a friend pay you back is dealing. Right? If you say to the police, but I didn't make any money on this, it's not that they don't think you're a dealer, they think you're a bad business person. Right? It's not that you're not dealing, it's that you are stupid. Right? This is a capitalist country. We are all about profit. Right? So you figure, oh hey, I bought it for him. Right? No, that doesn't work. Right? Multiple baggies equals intention to distribute. Right? I pack lunch for my kids every morning. There are tons and tons of baggies in my house. It's really dangerous. Work for reform, work for peace. Basically, we've been at war since you guys were in grade school, most of you. So it's hard to imagine what it must be like. Right? But when we're not at war, things are better. That's all I can say. When we're not at war, things are better. Working for cannabis reform, you guys have heard my rants before, but the National Organization for Reform of Marijuana Laws is waiting for your participation. Right? More info in all my books. Duh.